Mary redeemed a $50,000 cash prize playing Chumba Casino online.
I was only playing for fun, so winning was a dream come true.
Chumba Casino is America's favorite free online social casino. You too could have the chance to win life-changing cash prizes. Absolutely anybody could be like Mary. Be like Mary. Log on to ChumbaCasino.com and play for free now. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details. The voice in the preceding commercial was not the actual voice of the winner.
Welcome to the Unscripted podcast. My name's Corby LaCroix, and the song you're hearing right now is called Great and Mighty One, available on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your music. But for now, recording from the Unscripted studio in Old Hilliard, here's your host and my friend, Aaron Conrad.
All right, everybody, welcome to Unscripted from my studios in Old Hilliard. And it is, I wish I had toys that could play the music. I can't because of rights, but if I could play Welcome Back Again, or Guess Who's Back Again by Eminem, I would play that. Guess Who's Back Again. It is the wonderful Miss Cammi Prantl, soon to be something else. Let's talk about that in a minute. We are days away, depending on when you hear this, we are days away from no longer Cammi Prantl. But Cammi, why don't you introduce yourself very quickly? We've done this once now, as others have seen the bloopers. Introduce yourself, and we'll go from there.
Hi, everyone. I am Cammi Prantl, soon to be Cammi Uxley this weekend, and I am Aaron's executive director for MyUnscripted, and I also coach softball at Ohio State.
Let me say that you are the executive director, because I know you work for the Ohio State. You are the executive director for MyUnscripted, not Aaron's, because as we started this business, there was no one else that I want. My goal in this entire interview is to either make you or me cry at some point. So you're not much of a crier or a hugger, for that matter.
Who that's going to be.
Spoiler alert, it'll be me. No, anyway, all right. So no. All sincerity, you are the executive director for MyUnscripted, and that is because in our previous life, and gosh, we've known each other now, I guess it's going on 6 years. And in that time, I just see so much promise and potential, and I know what value you have. It was literally a year ago last week that I pushed away from the table when respect was no longer being served. I'll just say that. And because of that, I was able to, but in that process, in that season, I was able to meet you, and I'm forever thankful for that. And actually, one of my daughters said that. You and I have a relationship and a friendship and a partnership, and honestly now leading my team because of that season in our lives. And so we're forever thankful. I'm forever thankful for that. So, okay. So let's start at the beginning. You are changing your name this weekend.
Yeah. This weekend. We already signed the papers and went into the courthouse, but we got to finish that signing this weekend, and off I go.
Off you go. Today is January 26th. For anybody hearing this, today's January 26th. This weekend, Miss Cammi will become Cammi Uxley. That's so cool. All right. So, are you excited?
Of course.
Yeah.
It's a wedding. We're having a big old party.
Yeah, we're so worried. We're so excited. I started to say worry. We're so excited for you. We really are. I've been excited for you. Wonderful couple. Your husband is a wonderful man, and I'm really excited for you guys.
Thanks.
How is it planning a wedding in the midst of a pandemic?
It started out to be a little stressful. Everything is about 2 or 3 times more expensive because of COVID. So all the brides that were supposed to be getting married in 2020 and then 2021, just every single wedding vendor raised their prices. But we found a good place that has everything included, and they pretty much did all of the planning for me. So I didn't really have to do much of anything besides running around with my head cut off this week. So
Yeah, and it's a busy weekend, so I'm very thankful that we could record this week. Because who does that? What kind of boss? What kind of boss am I? Seriously.
I should quit.
Hey, I need you to record this week, the week of your wedding. That's
It's fine.
classic.
My only day off this week. I'm here doing this. So if that shows you this dedication here.
I'm dead. All right. No, seriously. We're very excited. So I won't take a lot of your time because you have a lot to do. All right. Let's talk about where you are currently, because I think there's some questions out there. For those that know you, know me, know us, you are. Wait, let me rewind. Welcome to Unscripted. We did our first episode, year and a half ago, a minute ago. It was a while ago. And you were one of the first to say, hey, I'll record with you, which was awesome. And at the time we were in a different season of life, working for a different place. And you were the volunteer assistant at Ohio State. Can you update everybody on where you are today? Because I think that's a question that a lot of people have, given the announcements that I continue to push out. Can you give everybody an update on where you are today?
Well, I'm still the volunteer assistant at Ohio State.
Okay.
I'm giving lessons at a different facility just right down the road here in Dublin, working with a lot of different age and skills as far as girls. Added in a couple baseball guys since then. Still have 2 fluffy dogs, and yeah, I don't know how far you want me to go here.
No, that's good.
I'm at the same spot, but I have a better boss now. Is where I'm at.
Stop it. All right, I'll send you a check. I'll Venmo you a check. No, thank you. But I think, the important thing is, let's just do the Cliff Notes version for anybody that missed our first episode, which, not a plug, go back and listen to our first episode, because Cammi really tells her story, which is an incredible story of how she got to Ohio State to play. So let's just give a Cliff Notes version. Can you do that really quick? You played at Ohio State for 4 years. Can you just tell that story very quickly? Your journey from playing softball at a young age to getting to Ohio State.
Okay, Cliff Notes version. Here we go.
There you go.
So I grew up in Teays Valley. I played on a travel team in Chicago, Illinois, where I would travel 6 hours every weekend to go to practice. From there, I was able to earn a scholarship to the Ohio State University. Stay with me, Aaron. The Ohio State. Okay. At Ohio State, I was a 4-year starter, set all kinds of fun records, was an All-American, All Big Ten player. I feel like I put my heart and soul into softball, and my degree was in strategic communication, which finally, 6 years after college, finally getting to do something with my degree, as long as I always told people I graduated with a degree in softball, so now I'm using both the degrees that I had. From there, I went and played professional softball in Italy for about 8 months, learned how to speak Italian, had the time of my life at the beach playing softball, still kind of working a little bit. And then from there, I was able to earn the position of being the volunteer assistant at Ohio State. I've done that now for 3 seasons. This is currently my 3rd year, and I'm hoping, cross my fingers for everyone, to hopefully earn a paid position at Ohio State or a different college in the upcoming future, but really want to stay in college coaching as well as kind of working for you and doing all that fun stuff.
Okay.
Got the hiccups.
So, all right. So hopefully that was some clarity for people, because I know people were like, oh, is she not going to be able to? No. Cammi's still at Ohio State. She still gives a majority of her days to Ohio State, and I'm honestly thankful for her leadership and her friendship and her listening ears on many days as we continue to build MyUnscripted. And so let's answer that question now. Why would I choose you to be the executive director for MyUnscripted? I'll answer the question, and then I'll let you fill in the blanks as well. You and I worked side by side, literally in I don't even know the square footage of the room, every day in a previous life. And I know the potential and I respect your intelligence, your ability to do the things that you do, and together we were able to, I feel like, be very successful in a previous life, and because of that, you were the first call when it came to building this business. And so, can you talk a little bit about joining MyUnscripted? What made you want to join this team? And again, we are unscripted. Cammi doesn't even know this question's coming, so we'll see what happens. But when I made the call to you to join this team, what were your thoughts, and why did you join the team?
I would say even a lot of the same reasons that you say that you wanted me to be with you. Like, I feel the same way about you as a human. Your work ethic, like anything that you touch, it seems to turn to gold of some sort, or I guess to Carolina blue. Um, so I
love that.
guess like you starting the podcast, like I was able to kind of be with you from the beginning of that to watch that grow and flourish kind of when we were in our old offices. And ever since you left and decided to kind of take that leap of faith, like I saw the vision, I saw the outlook, I saw what it could be. And I guess that I really wanted to be a part of that. And it was right up my alley as far as the content creation, working with people, still being able to kind of do what I love on the softball aspect and have that freedom, but still do something that I feel like I'm benefiting other people and not just in the athletic world.
I think the thing that we say, our two pillars of what we do. Number one, we control the inputs and God controls the outcome. And number two, we want to create room. When we do our dreams and visions, we want to create room for others to join us. And so that's, I think, that, and that's as we've met with people and we'll continue to meet with potential sponsors or guests or clients. Those are the two pillars that I will not, those are the hills I will die on every day. Because I think and I love that you stepped across and said, I'm in. And that's, I said it on our first episode, you're like a member of our family. And so that's why we celebrate this weekend with you. We celebrate everything with you. You are a member of our family. And, it goes beyond business. I say it often, business is not transactional, business is relationships. And we've had a very special relationship, and our family has a very special relationship with you and your soon-to-be husband. And it's just exciting. I'm so excited to know that you and I get to do this every day. We get to do this every day. We don't have to. And so I wanted anybody, again, not to circle back to that, but the question that's out there is she going to continue to coach? Is she going to do lessons? Yes, 100%. My team, MyUnscripted, our business, me personally, we support you in that. That is you, who you are as a person, and we want you to flourish and do well in that. So just to circle back to that. So where do we go from here? When we meet with people, what do you believe that MyUnscripted, like, what's our goal when we meet with people, when we meet with sponsors? What's our goal? I just threw you a curveball.
You did. I mean, I would say to find a way for all of us to win. Right. Like, as much as we're trying to grow our business, like, we can't grow other people's business if we're not working together. It's finding what they want and need and being able to create their perfect vision, as well as us creating our vision on what we want this business to look like. So I think as much as we can build relationships and really cultivate those and them be genuine, I think that's just going to help everyone around us kind of flourish.
100%. I don't know if people are listening on audio, you clearly can't see it because it's audio, but if you're watching on video, up here in the right behind me is a actual gift that you gave me. That is our first recording, which is very cool. That's why it's featured in the back. It's very cool.
Tears.
What?
And here comes the tears.
No, there's not a single tear. I'm not yet. No. All right. So let's talk about you personally. Let's have people get to know you personally. Played at Tays Valley, played at Ohio State, decorated career. And again, I've said this on our first episode. I'll say it again. Go to YouTube. You gotta. And I wish I had better tools. I need an executive director that could pull this stuff off. Anyway, there's a video on YouTube. You need to YouTube Cammi Prantl diving catch. I use it more than I actually probably have the most views because I send it to pretty much everybody I know. But I don't know how many people have an executive director that made a diving catch against Michigan State in a cold, rainy day. Anyway, so if you
It was
know
on SportsCenter. It wasn't just a diving catch. It made the top 10 plays on SportsCenter. And the other people that were in the top 10 that day were all professional athletes. Like, it was during like the NBA finals. I don't think baseball had started, or it might have been spring training games at that point, but it was little old me and then all these male professional athletes. So that was, I think, my favorite part about the whole thing.
and it's a pretty good catch, honestly. I mean, it made top 10. So, hey, it's pretty cool. All right, and we talked about this, a few of these things in our episode, but let's talk about it. Let's go back to it. Playing in Ohio State, how different was it for you? Now we have the NIL. Can you imagine if when you played at Ohio State, if there was the NIL, which is, what is that called again? What does that mean?
Name, image, likeness.
Thank you. The name, image, likeness. Can you imagine when you played at Ohio State if there was the NIL and what that would have been like for you personally and financially?
Well, Xander and I even talk about this all the time. It's that, like, I'm gonna toot my own horn here for a second. Like, I did it all. It was like, I feel like I was leading the team every year, in the community, still doing lessons in softball. Like, I feel like I would have made so much money. Like,
Right.
I kick myself in the foot every day because I'm like, the opportunities that these girls have, just the amount of gear that they are given, the resources that they have. Even I thought I had it really good when I was at Ohio State, and now being a coach and just the things that they've added now in for the student athletes, it's like, if they don't get a job when they graduate, like, we have issues. Like, there is a whole team of support staff. They do career fairs every single quarter. They have an event where all you have to do is submit a resume, and Ohio State will take these student athletes shopping to get professional business clothes.
Wow.
They have training tables, as far as any student athlete at any point can go into these training tables and have like world-class meals. It's not just a college cafeteria. They have their culinary team in there. There's a set menu every single week, and it's anywhere from, last night I think it was build your own pasta bowls. They have taco nights. They have a guy in there with an omelet station every day. So let alone the resources that Ohio State's giving out, it's the name, image, likeness is something that is so unheard of, and so many people still don't really understand how they can make money off of it. But even from our players, there's a couple of them that have really kind of dug in and really wanted to make money and be out in the community, and others are just like, please send me all the free things I can get,
Right.
and just do ads that way. So it just kind of depends on what they would want to do personally. But I know if I was in that scenario, I'd be trying to pull it all in. And something like, besides that too, I don't know if you have heard about this. I don't think we've talked about this even off air. Ohio State and some other schools around the country have now been given access, and I'm going to butcher this, so I'm sorry in advance, but they have something what's called Austin money. And so now universities have the option that they can just give their student athletes, it's about $6,000 a year.
Wow.
So if there's some things that like scholarships can't cover, or if there's someone who has financial troubles, it's like they can just guarantee and be like, okay, well, every year you're just automatically going to get this. It's a little less than $6,000 that they can just give them just because they're a student athlete.
Wow. So it's a completely different landscape, because my guess is you would have probably been driving a vehicle doing commercials for a local car dealer, whoever that was. Because I mean, I just feel like with your success and good for those kids, right? That's what I think is good for those kids. They worked really hard. I was an intramural champion. You laugh when I say that, but I was an intramural champion. I was an intramural champion. I didn't have, I guess I'll always wish that I could have been like you guys, like all the people, many of the athletes that I've interviewed. I wish I would have had people recruiting me. I wish I could have played at University of North Carolina.
Can we see
Ohio
time
State,
out? We're going to have a 30-second timeout.
Okay.
Quick story for our listeners here. Aaron's going to hate me for this.
Oh, no.
Aaron recently, if any of you all dedicated listeners, Aaron recently did an interview with a 3-time Olympic gold medalists. Okay, so that just sets the stage. So Erin's doing this interview. I'm listening, overviewing, like everything sounds great. Okay, so she's talking about her 3 Olympic gold medals, and Erin just drops in, I was an intramural champion once, but like no big deal here. Just 3-time Olympic gold medalist, intramural champion. Now who's the winner here?
Just saying. I mean, I'm proud of my intramural championships.
Good for you.
I worked hard for those. Anyway, all right, 30-second timeout over. I don't even know what I was talking about. No, I didn't, there wasn't an NIL. And again, I was friends with everybody that was under scholarship, but those are my besties for life. And people like yourself who, have played. I've been, honestly blessed to have great friendships with a lot of people that were not intramural champions, but actual champions, or played at Division I, or all those different things. And the NIL didn't. And so we have our unscripted athletes, and you're working closely with them. I'm working closely with them. We hope to work even more with them. And those are athletes that just said, I'm in. And thank you for the NIL, because that allowed us to give, gifts or I don't want to get us in any kind of violation, so hopefully I'm using the right language. But to partner with what I will say about so just in case I did create a violation there, no? Okay, we're good. All right. So I'm glad that's why you're my executive director. What we've done is, what's really cool is I wanted those athletes to be a part of our team. And so not a plug, but we're going to launch a store, I think, before the end of this week with a new logo. And so just so everybody kind of knows how we're utilizing those young athletes is we sent those logos to all of our athletes, and we said, what do you think? Which one do you like, A or B? They're almost like a board for us. They're a test group for us, and we want to continue to give back. So if you're listening to this, if you're a sponsor and you want to give back to any of our athletes, we have 12 athletes, I believe it is. Cammi just recently put out a survey to those athletes, so we pretty much know all their socials, all their not to sound creepy, but we know a lot about them as their athletes, and we want to continue to work with this group of athletes because of the NIL. It gave us a pass to say, we can do those things now without any violations, hopefully. And we've got everything from NAIA all the way up to Division I softball, baseball, football. We have a bowling. Someone on our unscripted athletes is a bowler, which is cool. We just got a great team, and I'm proud of those kids, and I like to celebrate them and their birthdays and everything else. So I'm thankful for the NIL for that. So and you're a key part of that. What does it feel? So let's talk about the wedding. Completely changed course. I just did a big old hard turn. We just made a big old left turn. But let's talk about the wedding. Are you excited?
Yeah. Party. Let's do it.
There you go. How are all the plans? Again, today's January 26th, if you're listening to this. So, some people may hear this weeks from now, but January 26th, it's Wednesday. You're getting married on Saturday. Yeah. Are you ready?
I'm going to get my nails done after this,
okay,
with a couple of friends, and then I just have one little final thing to do tonight when I get home. But then other than that, most of my family is flying into town tomorrow night. So after practice tomorrow, I'm going to go hit up the casino for a little bit with them. And then Friday just kind of starts the rehearsal and all the wedding activities. And I feel like Saturday and Sunday and it being over will be here quicker than it came. But we're just excited for like all the family and friends who are able to come into town. It's, in my opinion, going to be a pretty big wedding for being COVID times, but being as safe as we can, masks if we need it, but just trying to keep everyone safe. But at the same time, this will be one of the first times that I know on my side of the family that they've all gotten together in about 10 years or so. So I know that everyone is just so excited to see each other and hug each other and just be in the same space for once.
I just noticed that in all of that, you didn't mention all the work that I have sent you to do. Are you going to be able to get that done before Saturday?
Well, I'm currently waiting on several things from you. So what kind of boss are you?
Just to be
Just over here in
clear,
limbo.
just to be clear, I'll have to post the screenshot. I actually told Cammi, take the week off. Like, do you? This is a once in a lifetime, and so just so nobody thinks I'm a horrible person.
Hey, but
No,
in the same text and screenshot, it's we got a podcast. You gonna hop on?
so this morning she said I'm not coming on. I'm like, no, you're coming on. No, what a horrible person I am. But no, I love that we get to do this. We get to laugh every day, and that's I think I hopefully anybody listening to this knows that I hope you all have a partnership like that, a friendship like that. No matter who you work with, that you can laugh and celebrate one another and. I honestly am so blessed and thankful, and I'm not going to get the tears going. I'm not going to do it. I promise I'm not going to do it. But no, I'm thankful and blessed that every day I get to do this and get to partner with people like you that just say I'm in, and we get to have a lot of fun. And in the meantime, hopefully we're changing lives. We're creating rooms for others to join us. And not a plug, but if you want to join us, so let me tell this story real quick. Several weeks ago, I don't want to go through a lot of history. I probably can't go through a lot, but let me just give a snapshot. Several weeks ago, I was in conversation regarding the future of our business. And that future was changing daily, whether it was going to be an investor, a financial influx of cash from someone that believes in us, a partnership, which would have been very different. And so you and I met, and we're on Zoom calls, literally with this potential partner, investor, cash, capital, whatever you want to call it. You and I met throughout the day with Zoom calls. And went through this process. And I'll never forget this, Cammi, because I think it's important for our audience to know why I believe so much in you. I was sitting in this conference room, and you grab a whiteboard marker and walked up to this whiteboard in one of our breaks as we were trying to decide what the future of literally our entire business looks like. And I say our because it's our. It's everyone that works for us, Nick, CJ, others that have come alongside of us. So when I say our, that's all of us. We're a team. It's not just me. I sat in this conference room. You grab this whiteboard marker. You walk up to this whiteboard, and you started breaking down numbers in a way that was, number one, overwhelming for me. And you've been around me long enough now. We've known each other 6 years. Mm-hmm. Is that about right? We've known each other 6 years. You sat with me actually once at a BW3 for lunch, and you watched me lose my mind and not be able to make a decision. So I think I want people to hear when I choose my executive director, it's because it's not about degrees, and it's really about someone that knows you, knows your business, and can take the wheel and really do things, understands you as a person. And so back to the whiteboard, you grabbed this marker and you started doing all these numbers. And I was overwhelmed. I was back at our day at BW3 when I couldn't even choose what to order because I was literally mentally overwhelmed. And the way you broke it down, when I was driving home that day, I told Heather when I got home, I've told a few other people, some people just need an opportunity. I think, sometimes we get in the wrong. So that was a very long analogy to get to the point of anybody listening to this to say, I think sometimes we're in a position where people don't respect. As I said a year ago, last week, I pushed away from the table because respect was no longer being served. We need to be in a position where people value who we are and what we do. And that day was such a reminder to me that I value and respect what you do. I watched you shine when you're just given the opportunity to do what you do. And I sat there that day and I said, this is why I chose Cammi to be my executive director. It was just amazing. It was amazing. And I'm thankful that you, given a platform, given an opportunity, have shined. So I'm sorry to talk so much, but I don't know. I wanted to publicly thank you and tell people so that they understand, executive director is a big title, right? Like that's a big title, but I'm completely comfortable with that because of the many reasons, few that I've mentioned here.
Thank you.
Well, what can I say? So,
No tears.
What's that?
I heard it. I think I see one.
No tears. No quiver in the voice. I'm going to try to be stronger in 2022 and not cry on episodes. I have 2 others today, so I might cry on one of those. But anyway, all right. So what's the future? When you and I meet with someone, what's what do we always talk about? Like what do we want to do as MyUnscripted? If somebody was not familiar with us, if they come in and they sit down with you and I in a meeting, what does that look like?
I would say the first thing would be like really wanting to dive in and learn about what they're doing in their business and
Right.
things that they do really, really well at that we don't really want to change, and then things that they could need improvement on. So that could be anything from website development, YouTube development, social media posts, podcasts, creating graphics and flyers, pretty much anything that you need to do for your business that doesn't actually involve, I guess, making subs or pizzas, or I guess like what you actually do, but all the extra stuff and the extra fluff we could help with, whether it be like the things I just listed, if there's stuff that I guess I didn't list that they're wanting and needing. Like I feel like you and I can sit down and come up with a path of where we want to go next. If we don't know, we do have people that are really good at their jobs as well. So we don't have big enough egos where we can't contract other work out and ask other people for help if we don't know.
Right. Perfect. Yes. And in fairness, I'm throwing Cammi rise balls.
Yeah.
Are they called rise balls? Am I saying that right?
Risers.
What?
We inside joke. So our machine at Ohio State, it can throw like many different pitches, and yes, it is a rise ball, but for some reason our machine says riser on it.
There you go.
So you just have to say riser.
Riser. All right, so I'm throwing you risers. We did not. Again, we're unscripted, so she has no benefit of knowing. And in fairness, you came on board January 1. Today's January 26th, and again, in all due respect, she's spending a majority of her time where she should, and that's at Ohio State. So until June, I'm not going to get you full time. Just again to clear any rumors or questions that might be out there. So we've had very limited time to really, I've given you, you have the title and you're doing amazing work already. But honestly, we haven't had a ton of time to. It's not like Cammi's in 40 hours a week and we're, sitting in the same office like we used to, and we're talking through strategy and things like that. And so again, I'm throwing you risers, and you're hitting them out of the park as you always do. But just so everybody knows, Cammi will be on board with us full time in June, because that's when the season ends. Hopefully, they have a very long. A very, very long run. And honestly, the later I get you, the better, because that's where your heart is at Ohio State. And I fully support lessons, your coaching career, your coaching aspirations. You know that. And that's part of our conversation was, I fully support that. That is priority 1 right now. Priority 2 is MyUnscripted, but there's no one else that I like teaming with and working with and just bouncing ideas off and counseling. she may have had
that's my resume.
Yeah, it's on your resume somewhere. That's all other duties as assigned. That's the last bullet point. But no, Cammi's been wonderful, and so that's the plan moving forward. Just so everybody knows, Cammi will be with me part-time until June-ish. And what's the latest day that let's just say you all go and win the whole championship, win the whole thing, when's the last day I could get you? When's the first day I could get you?
I think the national championship is usually that first week of June or like last week of May. They've been in discussions ever since the women's basketball for NCAA versus the men's basketball and all that happened last year. They've been in conversations with our World Series versus baseball, because baseball gets a lot more days off than softball does. And sometimes for softball, they could be playing doubleheaders during the World Series with 5 to 8 games within like a few days. So they're trying to make it a little bit more laxed as far as like days off. If you're in the winner's bracket, you get even extra time. So it might be drawn out a little bit more, but I don't think anything's finalized yet. But May, June, that first week.
Okay, so we'll say mid-June because I'll give you some time to. But know this about Cammi. So Cammi, I guess again, previous life, when COVID happened, you were in Arizona, and we were texting. You were working from your hotel. You mentioned Italy. You were working from Italy. Cammi has a work ethic that goes far beyond just softball. And so I want people to know that. So she will be available. She gets, if y'all could see the text strings from me, I tend to text a lot. Cammi will send one line, and I'm
Paragraphs.
10 paragraphs.
Paragraphs.
And multiple. So that's just how we communicate. But at the end of the day, she does respond, and she is a huge part of our team. And I really look forward to getting you mid-June. But in the meantime, all of my respect and support goes to Ohio State. So let's mention that. How can people support? First of all, do you have a registry for your wedding?
Yeah.
This is going up today, so get it out there.
It is for any of you very generous listeners. It is zola.com/weddings/Team Uxley.
Team Uxley, okay.
Team Uxley.
Zola, ZOLA.
Yeah. .com.
All right. So if you're hearing this today, I'm going to put this out today. Today's the 26th, like I've mentioned multiple times. We're going to get this out today. So if you hear that and you want to go to Cammi's registry and support Cammi and her wonderful husband Xander, do so today. Or really, well, I assume it'll be open even after you guys are done with the wedding.
Yeah, I think it stays open for maybe like a week after for anyone who forgot or just loves us so much and
never know. Never know where it goes. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, how can they support Ohio State softball? Because I am going to fit it. So Cammi gave me an extra large softball shirt a year, two ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been able to wear it because I'm not able to wear it. So it is literally a goal of mine to wear my Ohio State softball shirt. All right, back to how can they support Ohio State? Get out and support. There's a lot of young ladies on that team that are wonderful young ladies. I don't know everybody on the team, but I know a few, and they're wonderful young ladies. How can we get out and support the team?
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of live stream games this year. So anytime that, not necessarily even for Ohio State, but anytime that anyone can watch softball when it is on TV, it is helpful for just the sport in general. Following on social medias, following the players on social medias, helping grow their NIL deals and what they're doing outside of actual playing softball. But yeah, watching TV, following.
Where can they get the schedule?
OhioStateBuckeyes.com, and then you would go click on softball and schedule. We're supposed to start in 3 weeks. We're excited for this year because we don't have to just play Big Ten teams this year. So
Right.
we get to play. We're opening up in Boca Raton, Florida, FAU. So super excited to go down to some nice weather in bougie Boca Raton. So excited.
How does the team look this year?
Really good, but really, really young.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the group. It's always interesting to see how the freshmen every year will come in, how they'll vibe with the team, who's going to be able to find a way on the field. But they've really, like, this is the first year that I've been there, not only like as a player, but as a coach. This is the first year that the girls have really, really liked each other. There's not a single outlier. They're constantly doing stuff outside of softball. They just genuinely enjoy being around each other. And that's skill-wise, you never really know. Like, there's going to be errors that happen. People are going to strike out. There's going to be injuries. But the things off the field and the girls just truly enjoy spending time with each other, which is awesome.
I hate to make a plug for my Tar Heels, but my Tar Heels team this year has all the talent in the world. They really do. They have a ton of talent, and I don't know that they like each other. So that was my point. To your point, exactly. Yeah, I just don't. I mean, they don't mesh on the court, and it drives me crazy because they have the talent. They're not connected. to your point. And I think that's been something that, and so if any Tar Heel fans are listening, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, go look at some press clippings. I think there's two things that are missing: leadership and friendship. They just don't know each other because so let's talk about the transfer portal very quickly, because they had multiple players come in from the transfer portal who came from different programs, and they just haven't gelled yet. So how has the transfer portal played in for softball? Do you all worry as coaches, like if she doesn't get enough playing time, she's going to leave because she's going to transfer out? Like so we talked about the NIL, but transfer portals changed the game. And then also you have now, because of COVID, you have extended opportunity to play. So you could have a 6-year player, the player that's been in college for 6 years. Am I saying that right?
Yeah,
That's changed. Have those things changed the game?
Yeah, and I think COVID has really changed the game as far as the transfer portal, because right now coaches are having the opportunity, if they would like to keep their players that they currently have on their roster, current student athletes, for their additional years that they missed because of COVID, or do you want to take that scholarship money and do you want to invest it in the high school athletes for when they're coming into college? So there's some schools, and that's been a big controversy, is that some schools are wanting to keep their current athletes and having 5th and 6th year players, versus some are like, okay, well, we got to grow for the future at some point. So then they're putting their money into their incoming classes. So we actually have 2 girls that we brought in as transfers this year. One is a 6th year pitcher, and the other is an outfielder that came from Hofstra. I'm not sure what conference they're in, but both of the girls have been absolutely amazing for us. You really never know with transfers how they're going to come in and mesh, coming from a previous program, and one of our girls have even came from 2 programs before that, so this is now her 3rd go around with a school. So just like the things that they can bring to us that they learned at their previous schools, and things that we have that they didn't really have, that they're excited to have for the season. So transfers can kind of really make or break you, but at the same time, we lost a girl who transferred out, which I think she's doing really well now. She's enjoying her new school, but the 2 girls that we brought in, we are really excited about, and I think a lot of schools are going through a lot of transfer stuff right now as well.
And that's the thing, is it's across the board. Everybody's dealing with it. It's not like one team is dealing with it, but it does present
1,000 girls in the portal.
Right. I think the transfer portal, if you include all sports, it's insane. And, so I think it goes back to our original interview, and we talked about fit. Again, so we could have a whole nother episode on that, because I think people just want to put up a 4-panel nowadays and say, hey, I'm going here, but is it a fit? And then if they get there and they don't get enough playing time, it's just a whole nother episode we could probably do. And I'd love to actually do that with you, and maybe a few players. It has changed the game of college athletics for sure, as has the NIL. It's a whole new world. So, again, I go back to when you played, when I was an intramural champion, we didn't have transfer portal, but when you played, you didn't have NIL, you didn't have transfer portal, you didn't have all these things. You just went, you played for 4 years, and to your credit, you gave your best for 4 years, and now it's opened up opportunities like working for MyUnscripted. I mean, goodness, like that. Goodness, what an opportunity. I'm sorry. All right. Anyway, okay. So we've been on a long time. You have to go get your nails did and get your hair did and everything else. I unfortunately am not going to be able to be at the wedding this weekend. We have previous plans, and those are very, very important. But I'm proud of you. I'm thankful for you. I'm blessed. I'm blessed that, gosh, 5 years ago we were working birthday parties and had 22 questions with Cammi Prantl, where I would just ask you a million questions, because it created a friendship and an opportunity for us to do what we do today. And so I'm very, very thankful for you, and I wish you the best of luck this weekend in your marriage. I've already sent you my advice for marriage, and anyway, I'm just glad you're a part of the team, and I'm thankful that you came on today. I had to beg you and send you multiple.
The drama from you.
All right. Any last words, Cammi?
No, I just appreciate you as much as you give me praise. It's been fun, and I'm excited for what we're doing here with MyUnscripted. I'm excited for the future of the wedding, with softball, with being able to work for you and for the company. And I just think that we're both on the up and up, and we got a lot of good things going. So stay tuned for the future. There'll be a part 3, and yeah, go Bucks.
Yeah,
Say
that's
it.
what
Say it.
I won't ever say that. I will wear this shirt because hey, the scales are going the right way, and I do promise I'm going to wear my Ohio State shirt, and hopefully I'll be able to get to a place where I can wear it to a game. So again, support the ladies. Cammi and Xander's registry, go buy them something. I mean, if you listen to this, you're probably married. You know what that's like. So, man, we can't wait to celebrate you this weekend. And thank you for saying yes. Thank you for being a part of this. And I know you and I are going to look back at the early days and really be glad we did this. I believe it with everything. So keep your whiteboard marker ready, because we're probably going to have more to discuss. But thank you, and best of luck to you this weekend.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We'll talk soon.
See ya.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Unscripted Podcast with your host, Aaron Conrad, or wherever you find your music. We'll see you next time on Unscripted with Aaron Conrad.